In this video, I'm going to show you how to control your data output with the array constraint function here in Google Sheets. So the best use of the array constraint function is to limit the size of array outputs, meaning you can control how many rows and columns are displayed from a larger result. So in this example, I'm going to be importing a data from a different file. Then I'm going to control the output with the number of rows and columns. So let's get started. First, I'm going to import this data from a different file to this spreadsheet. So we're going to start with our import range. Put in your equal sign, type in import. Then you have these different options, and at the bottom you will see import range, which imports data from another spreadsheet. So that's what we're doing. And here we have our syntax. We are going to get the spreadsheet URL. So I'm going to go to that spreadsheet, go to the top where you see your address bar, copy the link, go back to your spreadsheet where you're starting that formula, and in quotation marks, you're going to insert that URL. There you go, quotation mark here and another quotation mark there, comma. Now we have our range string. So what I'm going to do is to import the entire thing. And since I have a name for my sheet and that's data, I'm going to copy that as well. So put in data in quotation marks, exclamation point, meaning this is the sheet name. And since I'm selecting my entire data, I'm just going to go back and see the cell reference. If I select everything, there we go, that's A1 to G50. Let's go ahead and do that. A1 to G50. Again, also in quotation marks, quotation mark here, and another quotation mark at the end. If we press enter, we've successfully imported all of our data from that spreadsheet to this spreadsheet. Now to control the output, because again, we've imported everything, with our array constraint function, we will be able to limit the size of our output. So if I go back to that formula and put in array constraint at the beginning, there we go. So we have our array formula. Right below, we have our array constraint with the definition of constraints an array result to a specified size. Click on that, and now we have our syntax. So our input range would be our full import range formula. So at the end, let's go to the end. We're going to put a comma. There we go. Now we can proceed to select the number of rows and columns for our output. So the number of rows that, let's say, I just want to see would be 20 rows. So that's 21 including my headers. So 21, comma, and the number of columns, I just want to see up to our highest sales column. So that's column number 3. If I put that right here, close it off, and press enter. Now I'm only able to see my data, which has 21 rows and 3 columns. Now, to make it easier for me to switch off to how many columns or how many rows I want to see from this specific data, what I can do is a cell reference for my rows and columns. So if I go back to our formula right here, there we go. If I double click on this, I'll be able to edit it here, or I can just go to the formula bar at the top. Either way will work. So if we go to this one, so this is for our rows. So if I erase that and click on this one right here. So this cell reference will be where we're going to input the number of rows. There we have it. And for our columns, erase that and click on the cell reference, which is B2. So that's B1 and B2. Press enter. We will have a reference error because our cell reference for rows and columns are currently blank. So if we do input, let's say, again, the same thing, 21 rows, 3 columns, press enter, and we will have the same results. So if we change that again, let's say we only want to see 10 rows and 5 columns. There you have it. We are able to control the data output with this function by putting in the specific rows and columns we need to see from our data. And that's how you can control your data output with the array constraint right here in Google Sheets. And if you want to know how to use this function with other functions like sort and filter to create your own top 10 list, I have a separate video about this, and I'll be leaving a card at the top right corner for you to check out later. And if you want some extra help with sheets, I've got a free guide linked in the description below that you can check out. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe for more helpful videos, and I will see you in the next one.